I see a lot of videos talking about building your YouTube channel labeled when to call it quits. When to call it quits. And I feel like the general rule is very clear as to when to call it quits. You call it quits anytime you quit more than once. All right? That's the general rule. I mean, I can answer it right here. I don't even have to watch the video. Otherwise, you just call it quit without the S, you see? So for example, if you throw in the towel and then what you do is you call it quit. You call it quit at that point. One towel, one quit. That's how it goes. No S. But if you start again and then stop and then you start again and then you stop, now you can correctly call it quits because the franchise has expanded. There's multiple quits involved at this point. I feel like you learn this like in grade school, okay? But you see these videos all the time out there about when to call it quits. It's like, okay, I felt like I need to break it down. So because now we're talking about multiple quits. See, if you have multiple quits, that's when you add the S. That's when you add the S, all right? Or maybe it's not just you that stops your channel, for example. Let's take another example. Maybe it's not just you that stops your channel, but your friends also stop their channels. If that happens, instead of you calling it quit, you and your friends should call it quits, right? Because now there's more than one. So the S is now appropriate at that point in time. So unless it's a collective thing, by the way, because you could have this is why it gets a little confusing, why there's probably a lot of videos out there like this. It gets a little confusing. Because if it is a collective thing where you're all doing like one channel together, but there's multiple people involved, then you all just stop at one time. It would still be quit, not quits. No S at that time, even though multiple people are involved. Because although we have multiple people, they all quit one collective project. You see how it works? Multiple people, yes, but single failure. That's the slogan. Multiple people, but single failure. Therefore, you don't call it quits. You still just stay with the quit without the S in that case. So I hope this helps. I'm trying for the thousandth time to stop ranting. So I'm calling this particular rant quit. I'm calling this particular rant quit, which adds up to at least a 20th rant, this week. The 20th rant quits this week. If I add them up, 20th rant quit. I don't know if I got the grammar right on that. Whatever.